Welcome to this design analysis video of the iconic, legendary Volkswagen Golf 1. By the early 1970s, Volkswagen had fallen into financial difficulties with declining Beetle sales. Replacing the Beetle, the car that sold over 20 million units worldwide, was of paramount importance for Volkswagen's survival. In the 70s, water-cooled front-engine small cars became increasingly popular, fueled mainly by the oil crisis. The Citroën GS, the Ford Escort, the Fiat 128 and the Renault 6 are important European examples of this layout. Volkswagen management visited the Turin Autosalon in 1969 together with the Italian Volkswagen importer. The delegation looked carefully at what was shown and then selected 6 vehicles they liked most. Out of the 6 cars, 4 were penned by Italdesign. The Italian Volkswagen importer then invited Giugaro to Wolfsburg in January 1970. Work on what would become a family of Volkswagens even included one of the most iconic C-segment cars ever designed. But don't think Volkswagen gave Italdesign a blank sheet of paper. As proper Germans, all essentials were specified. It had to be a two-box design, and the wheelbase, overall length, the width, the height and even interior dimensions as well as the engines were all solid. The demand for both a 3 and a 5-door body type was also clear from the beginning. Giugaro himself has always liked the 5-door hatchback most, as it, according to the designer, simply has the stronger Golf characteristics. It introduced a strong C-pillar to the Golf, which to this day is still a very important piece of the Golf DNA. The Golf Mark I Giugaro designed to be the successor to Volkswagen's historic Beetle, which had been around for 35 years, departed on all levels with its successful predecessor. It featured a front-end, transversely mounted, water-cooled engine and front-wheel drive. Technology borrowed from Volkswagen's then newly acquired Auto Union subdivision. After the initial design work was done, many small changes had to be made for cost-cutting and law and legislation reasons. Giugaro had actually originally designed the Golf with square headlights, mirroring the lamps at the rear. But round lamps were at the time considerably cheaper to produce, so his design was changed. The radical new folded paper styling Giugiaro Giugaro and Italdesign applied to the globally marketed Golf Mark I proved to be a massive hit. Flowing, rounded curves of previous days were gone, replaced by clean, modern and flat surfaces and precise razor-sharp edges. The Golf took the angular philosophy out of the realm of supercars and into everyday cars. Using a very similar design language, Italdesign created cars like the Lotus Esprit, the Maserati Quattroporte, the BMW M1 and the legendary DeLorean DMC-12. Giugaro furthermore introduced different interpretations of the folded paper styling to the Volkswagen family in the 1970s, with the Passat and the Scirocco. The Golf was sold as the Rabbit in North America, the Caribe in Mexico and as the City Golf in South Africa. And just like the Beetle, it was very influential. The Golf Mark I was the very first internationally successful front-wheel drive hatchback. It was the Rabbit, along with the Honda Civic, that sparked American interest in front-wheel drive compacts, and from 1970 up until 1983 it sold over 6 million units. After the Italdesign success story, Volkswagen took the design of most of their cars in-house. Many decades later, Italdesign designed the Volkswagen W12 Roadster and the W Synchro concept cars, and in the 2000s the Touareg and Tex concept cars represented. In 2010, Volkswagen acquired 90.1% of the shares of Italdesign, and the remaining shares were sold to Audi in June of 2015, with Giugaro resigning at the very same time. Volkswagen gave Giugaro a Golf GTI, the only car he ever received from a manufacturer for his design work. As Giugaro had stated he would use it as a family car, a 5-door GTI, which did not even exist at the time, was built by hand just for the Italian gentleman. And up until this day, the legendary car designer Giugaro still owns his black GTI, featuring aluminium deep dish rims, special interior and US spec bumpers.